Good morning, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now this morning. I'm Shane Hogan. Julian Seawright's going to get us a start on our weather. What's looking like today? Not pretty at all.
No, not at all, unless you do like the gray clouds and plenty of rain to go along with it. As we're waking up this morning, continue to see rainfall just to the western side of Dane County as of right now outside of our sky cam. And we're going to continue to see rain throughout the rest of our morning, so don't expect much in terms of that relief over the next few hours for us. Some thunderstorms are going to be associated as well as we continue throughout the rest of the late morning hours. Around noon is when we're going to start to see some of those thunderstorms start to spread out just a bit and potentially could start to see some tapering off as well. In terms of visibility, however, of course, with all the humidity and even the storms firing off, we are looking at some patchy fog that has developed for many areas in southern Wisconsin. This is mainly from Dane County into the west as we're waking up this morning. So if you're going to be traveling, it's not just the rain we have to worry about, but also the fog as well. So make sure that you're taking it slow and also being careful. Now, as we take a look at our rain, where it's at as of right now, currently it's mainly just into Dane County, and at least that's as far as it's stretched as of right now. Heavier rainfall is just towards the southwest, so closer towards the Cross Plains area. But as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing over the next hour or so, could start to stretch its way to our friends in the east over the next 30 minutes or so. It's one thing we're going to be monitoring throughout the rest of this morning. We'll have more details in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Shane.
All right, thanks a lot, Julian. Today is the final day of the Noble CrossFit Games here in Madison, bringing athletes and spectators from all across the country. As athletes compete at some of the highest levels of competition, they're not just bringing the heat, they were feeling it yesterday. Catherine Merck was at the games to learn how participants are handling those hot temperatures.
So hot.
Simple as that. It's tough to be outside today. But it's even more difficult while doing this high-intensity workout.
We're just glad that we're not the ones doing the workouts.
At the CrossFit Games, athletes are taking exercise to the next level, a dedication to fitness that goes beyond your average gym session.
And then just to come back and do this day after day after day. Most of us come and do like one workout a day, and we're dead the next day. We just complain about it. And these athletes are doing 3, 4 workouts for 5 or 6 days in a row, and it's just insane.
But with intense heat across Madison this weekend, safety is top of mind for both CrossFit athletes and anyone spending time outside.
Making sure that you're eating food that's not going to upset your stomach, and eating food in general.
Just trying to stay in the shade, honestly, not stay in the sun for too long, and there's plenty of umbrellas outside to find shade.
I usually bring like a cooler full of ice, and then as the day goes on, we just fill like towels full of ice and put it around your neck and shove it down your shirt. Do whatever you can to keep your central nervous system cooled down.
Something we can all do. Keep things simple and stay cool. It's an important lesson from athletes who consistently do what most cannot.
And again, today is the final day of the CrossFit Games in Madison. It'll air right here on Channel 3 from noon to 2 p.m., so you can check it out here. Some good news out of southern Wisconsin, where a 49-year-old man who had been missing since Monday has now been found. Sheriff's deputies in rural Lafayette County were sent to the 9600 block of County H on Thursday for a report of an unattended vehicle. That search continued into Friday with crews from the State Patrol, Department of Natural Resources, and other local counties joining in. Late Friday morning, a State Patrol drone team spotted the man, who was rescued and taken to a local hospital. An investigation into his disappearance is still going on. Now to the war in Ukraine and worries of a new disaster following reports of shelling near Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Charlie D'Agata is in southern port city of Odessa.
Smoke rises above the pylons at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, each side blaming the other for explosions that downed high-voltage power lines, prompting engineers to shut down a reactor. The nuclear watchdog IAEA warning of a very real risk of a nuclear disaster at Europe's largest nuclear power facility. Seized by Russia in March, but kept running by Ukrainian staff since. The Ukrainian president accused Russia of using the plant as a weapon. Any shelling of this facility is an open, brazen crime and an act of terror, he said. The clashes at the plant came as Russian forces stepped up their offensive on frontline cities like Mykolaiv, which has come under the worst shelling since the first days of the war. This is all that's left of the regional government headquarters. This attack happened in the first few weeks of the war, but the bombardment has continued as this city remains a major strategic target for the Russian military. Even the hospital has provided no sanctuary against the onslaught in a series of nightly bombings and indiscriminate shelling of civilian areas. Ukrainian forces have been able to strike back with American-supplied HIMARS systems able to take out targets far behind Russian front lines. But as the Russian Ministry of Defense released videos showing soldiers in combat, British intelligence chiefs warned that the Russian military is almost certainly massing in southeastern Ukraine, concentrating forces and firepower for an all-out assault. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Odessa, Ukraine.
And now a new startling statistic from the war. At least 361 children have been killed and more than 700 injured in Ukraine as a result of Russian attacks since the beginning of the war. That's according to the country's Prosecutor General's office. Officials say the numbers could go up as they try to get the latest reports from places of active hostilities. Most children have been killed or injured in the region of Donetsk, Kharkiv, and Kyiv, the office says. It added that more than 2,000 educational institutions in the country were damaged. 230 of them were completely destroyed. Meanwhile, dozens in Israel and Gaza have been killed in an exchange of airstrikes yesterday, escalating the conflict between the two. Israeli airstrikes flattened homes in Gaza, and Palestinian rocket barrages into southern Israel continued for a second day. In Israel, one rocket hit an apartment building with no reports of any injuries. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Ministry of Health says 24 people have been killed in Gaza, including a 5-year-old girl, after Israeli airstrikes on Islamic Jihad. The Israeli military says a rocket misfired by Palestinian militants killed civilians, including children, in northern Gaza. Okay, still ahead, I sit down with Dr. Rupa Shah on how to beat this extreme heat this summer while staying safe. And you're taking another look at the Capitol this morning. Julian's got more on the weather coming up.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Waunakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Waunakee Furniture, ETC.
Wow, this is where you work now?
Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
During Toyota's national sales event, we're working hard to deliver new Toyotas so you can enjoy the last of summer. From hitting the rapids with a RAV4 hybrid, to kicking up sand in a Tundra, or camping out in a Highlander. Hey guys!
Get 1.9% APR for 48 months on a new 2022 Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Maybelline New York's Instant Eraser. Our do-it-all concealer. Conceal, contour, correct. Now with up to 12-hour moisturizing wear. Instant Eraser Concealer, Maybelline, New York.
I'm prepared to lose my job to do what's right because this campaign is not about me, it's about you. I'm running to change the system. I'm the only one in this race who has federal legislative experience.
I'm Stephen Olikara, running for the U.S. Senate. I approve this message because we are the exhausted majority.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, etc. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, etc.
And picking up where we left off again, as a reminder, we have an alert day in the forecast for us. That's going to be through today and overnight for us. We're going to be expecting multiple rounds of heavy rainfall throughout our morning and going into the later part of tonight as we see thunderstorms that could lead to flooding for some areas in much of southern Wisconsin. But all of southern Wisconsin is going to be on alert for us to see heavy rainfall to even develop that flooding potential for us. Now, as we take a look at what we're seeing outside as right now, yes, it is a dreary start to our Sunday morning as we have rain falling here in Madison, and that's going to continue throughout the rest of our morning hours and even going into our afternoon. Now, soaked roads and patchy fog is going to lead to our commute this morning to be all but optimal. So make sure that you're taking it slow and being very cautious if you're going to be hitting the roadways this morning. Now, taking a look at what we're seeing as of right now on our radar. Right now, it's starting to stretch its way out of Dane County, at least the rain system in itself. Not a whole lot of lightning signatures in southern Wisconsin, but you can see on the eastern parts of Iowa where the back end of the system is, we are still looking at some thunderstorm or lightning starting to pop up for us. Now, taking a closer look at what we're seeing in Dane County, some of the heavier rainfalls just south of Cross Plains and outside of Mount Horeb as of right now. We're going to continue to see that track itself east, so we are looking for some heavier rain on the way for us for the rest of Madison. Now, zooming back out, what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of this morning is going to continue to track itself east. So over the next 20 minutes or so, areas just about near, just outside of Milwaukee, could start to see some rain hitting their way. Over the next 3 hours, we are tracking that rain to still completely blanket much of southern Wisconsin for us. We have a flood watch that's in effect for all of southern Wisconsin. Even though the following counties are listed, all counties in southern Wisconsin and just north of Dane County in central Wisconsin are going to be under a flood watch until Monday afternoon. Again, that's going to be Monday afternoon. So the multiple rounds we're going to be seeing of rain going into tonight and overnight is going to be significant enough for us to start to see potentially flooding potential for some areas. Now, taking a look at the last 12 hours from areas just south of Madison and over towards south of Viroqua, looking at significant rainfall totals over the last 12 hours alone. Now, timing out what we could potentially be seeing by the time we get close to the noon hour, could start to see some of that rain taper off for us, giving us a bit of a break, opening in our sky, more sunshine just for a tad, but then we are looking at another round of some more rain and storms starting to develop just to the west and will start to stretch its way across southern Wisconsin overnight once again and leading into our Monday morning, where we're going to be looking at more isolated showers and thunderstorms to continue throughout our Monday until we get into around the noon hour. So we are still, once again, looking at another significant amount of rainfall totals, especially for the south central areas of Wisconsin. That's going to be stretching from Prairie du Chien all the way to Madison and Watertown in itself, where we could be seeing an inch and a half, or even 2 inches of rainfall. Now, as we take a look at our next few days, outside of today, which is the alert day for us, the rain's going to look to end by the time we get into our Monday afternoon, and throughout the rest of the next week, well, the good news is it's looking to be pretty quiet as of right now. Not a whole lot of shot or chances of us seeing any rain, but outside of that, temperatures themselves will be very seasonable, Shane. So we get a nice little relief once we get done with Monday afternoon.
Much needed relief. All right, Julian, thank you very much. In this morning's health conversation, I sat down with Dr. Rupa Shah to talk about how extreme heat, like this weekend's temperatures, can take a toll on our health. Here's what she had to say about ways to keep yourself safe during these high temperatures. Good morning. This morning I am joined by Dr. Rupa Shah, SSM Health, Family Medicine Physician and Wellness Coach. Today we are talking about extreme heat and your health. We're going to start with two of our most common heat-related issues that we hear about in the summer: heat exhaustion and heat stroke. What's the difference, and are there any other issues associated with extreme heat that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, absolutely. So heat exhaustion is when we lose a lot of water and electrolytes through sweating due to the high high heat and especially the high humidity sometimes. And some of the symptoms that people start experiencing is like irritability, headaches, dry mouth, sometimes nausea, and your body temperature is rising with heat exhaustion. Now with heat stroke, your body's actually losing that ability to start, to sweat any longer, and the body temperature gets to a really dangerously high level. So both of these require medical attention.
Okay.
So other things to sort of watch out for, what I like to tell folks is that you should start drinking water before you're even thirsty. By the time you're thirsty, it's almost a little bit too late. So if you're going to be out in the high heat, make sure you're constantly drinking water and staying ahead of it. And if you're going to be exercising or doing any physical activities in the high heat, make sure you're drinking something with electrolyte replacement as well.
So get ahead of it early. That way you feel pretty good for the rest of the day. Are there any other health issues associated with extreme heat that people should be aware of outside of those two?
Yeah, the other thing people may notice is heat rash is another sort of issue that can come up with high heat. It's sort of when our body's trying to sweat, but those sweat glands get blocked. So this can happen in the armpits, in the groin, in the elbows. So you'll get that red bumpy rash due to the heat too. So wearing light, loose-fitting clothing that can really breathe well is going to help prevent that as well.
So what should people do to avoid heat-related issues? During the summer, obviously we're kind of right in the height of it right now.
Yeah, so again, like I mentioned, make sure if you're going to be heading out into the heat to start drinking water. Keep drinking water the whole time, and do something with electrolyte replacement if you're going to be doing anything real physical. Avoid things like caffeine and alcohol, which are more dehydrating, anyways. And then just try and avoid things in the middle of the hottest part of the day, like at noon, and try and stay indoors. Find a cool space. And if you start having some of those symptoms that we talked about with heat exhaustion or definitely heat stroke, make sure to seek medical attention right away.
All right, lots of good tips there. Thank you so much, Dr. Shaw, and we appreciate you. And where else can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shaw.
Lots of good tips there. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yep, Dr. Shaw had a lot of really good information there for all of us staying safe and healthy during these hot days. So next week we talk with the doctor about energy supplements and what to look out for. So stay tuned for that. And still to come here on News 3 Now this morning, new details on the Alex Jones verdict and what he faces next. We'll be back after this.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing train equipment and servicing all brands.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
At Pick and Save, we believe local produce shouldn't be hard to find. That's why we work with local farms right in our own backyard to bring you fresher than fresh produce.
You got everything I need. You're like medicine to me. Oh, baby,
Because shopping for local produce should be as easy as shopping at your local Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
They look different online.
Jeez. Wow, that's a lot of rolls. When you prefer dream vacation over a rental nightmare.
let's get you checked in.
It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh yes, certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items. Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
I'm
Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we are on rain duty throughout the rest of our Sunday morning as we're watching at our current state as of right now on the radar, looking at some showers that are starting to build in intensity just towards the western side of Dane County. But we're looking also at a reload of some more rain coming in from eastern Iowa that's going to continue to push itself into southern Wisconsin. So the southwestern area is the area that we're going to be the most concerned about to see the most heavy rain totals throughout the course of this event. Now, taking a closer look, zooming in to Dane County in itself, from Mount Horeb to Cross Plains and just outside of our station as of right now, we're starting to see some heavier and more intense rainfall starting to roll its way in. But one thing to note is that we're not looking at necessary thunderstorms with these lines of showers that are starting to roll through. Really just rainfall and heavy rainfall that is going to continue throughout much of the early morning hours. But around mid-morning, we're going to start to see it taper off just a bit. But we are continuing to see that reload coming in from eastern Iowa is going to continue to push more of that rain throughout much of southern Wisconsin. It's one thing we're going to continue to monitor throughout the next few hours for us. But at this current track just outside of Dane County, we are going to start to see our friends towards the east, which are dealing with some dry conditions as of right now, starting to get another drink of some rain in just a few moments. We'll take a closer look at what else to expect in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Fans of comeuppance hit the jackpot with the Alex Jones verdict. The conspiracy theorist has been ordered to pay nearly $50 million to a single family. Jones has repeatedly lied on his media platform that the Sandy Hook massacre was faked. The truth is, 20 children and 6 adults were killed that day. Michael George has more.
Question number 3. $20,500,000.
For the first time, far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is paying the price for his lies about the Sandy Hook school massacre. A Texas jury ordered Jones to pay $45 million in punitive damages and $4 million in compensatory damages to the parents of slain 6-year-old Jesse Lewis. For years, Jones has claimed the mass shooting was a hoax. The family's attorney says they'll keep fighting to make sure Jones pays.
This entire house of cards is likely to come crumbling down.
Testifying under oath, Jones finally admitted the massacre did happen.
It's 100% real.
But he also claimed what he said was protected free speech.
What I did to those families was wrong, but I didn't do it on purpose.
The Sandy Hook parents say for them, his speech had extraordinarily painful consequences. Years of harassment and death threats.
I can't even describe the last 9.5 years of the living hell that I and others have had to endure.
Jones still faces 2 other defamation trials brought by Sandy Hook parents. A Texas law could dramatically reduce the millions of dollars the jury has awarded the little boy's family. In a preemptive move, Jones' media company filed for bankruptcy protection, and his attorneys say the show will go on.
Alex Jones will be on the air today. He'll be on the air tomorrow. He'll be on the air next week.
And if you're wondering whether this verdict would deter Jones from promoting other false conspiracy theories, well, just this morning, his website posted a news story claiming the left is promoting cannibalism. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And the 2 additional upcoming defamation trials are expected to lead to additional damages awarded by jurors. Well, there's still a half hour of news ahead here on News 3 Now this morning, and Julian is tracking all the storms for us this morning to keep you updated. We'll be back.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I've never been more ready in my life.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call
1-800-GOT-JUNK. We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Rise and shine in the bedroom of your dreams. Get a 4-piece queen bedroom set for only $9.99. Like my Fusion in 2 colors, my Spencer in 2 colors, and my Savannah. Need more storage? Add the chest and get all 5 pieces for only $12.99. I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't give people Bob's discount on complete bedroom sets. Actually, my $9.99 bedroom sets are so comfy and cozy I'd sleep like a baby, but I'd wake up sad.
Get Bob's discount!
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh local Medicare. Hey, Joe, are you behind this whole check your zip code deal on national TV for extra Medicare benefits?
I don't know. Check your zip code.
Why would I check my zip code?
Because you're in it.
So we get a lot of calls about that guy. It's sad because your local Medicare plans already have those bells and whistles Joe promises.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I've never been more ready in my life.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Wisconsin is now one of the nation's most important political battlegrounds. The August primaries and November midterms could set a new course for our state and our country.
News 3 Now brings you a look at the key races and issues in Campaign 2022 Battleground Wisconsin.
Monday at 7 p.m.
News 3 Now is taking action to find and deliver the news stories that matter where you live.
Taking action to uncover the truth, getting answers, and finding solutions that can make an impact in your life and our community where we all live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Right now, the Senate debated deep into the night on the proposed spending bill. We've got more from Washington.
And we're talking rain, and more rain. We're going to give you a look at what to expect coming up.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on this Sunday on News 3 Now. I'm Shane Hogan. Julian, it's been raining all day. What do we got?
Rain, when will it go away? Well, probably not by the end of that terrible little pun of mine, but either way, we are still going to be expecting more of the training showers that are just continuing to give us some rainfall throughout much of southern Wisconsin, especially here in Dane County throughout much of the rest of this morning. Now, taking a look at what we're saying now, I mentioned training. Now, training showers are when we are seeing repeated flow of some rainfall just continuing to hit certain areas, which is for us much of southern Wisconsin, especially just the southwestern area as well. Now, in the back end, just on the eastern side of Iowa, we are looking at a reload of some more showers, but not a whole lot of thunderstorms are associated with this system. Even though we do have a couple of lightning signatures just on eastern Iowa, you can see here in southern Wisconsin, mainly the thunderstorms that we were seeing just about an hour or two ago have pretty much fallen apart. But taking a closer look at what we're seeing here in Dane County in itself, from Cross Plains to our friends in Mount Horeb, just along US 151, we are looking at some heavier rainfall in the areas that are starting to move towards Fitchburg and just outside of Madison, but not seeing a whole lot of intensity, but we are looking at more continued rainfall throughout the area of Dane County. And this is going to continue to track itself east, and so our friends over the next 20 minutes or so could start to see a bit of that rain starting to reach their way, especially for Waukesha and West Allis. Now, as we take a look at over the next 3 hours, we're still going to be seeing some widespread rainfall throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So it's going to last throughout our mid-morning, going in close to our noon hour for us. Aside from that, folks, we do have a flood watch in effect until Monday afternoon. That's right. We're going to be expecting more showers throughout the rest of this morning coming into tonight and even our overnight hours as well. We're going to time that out in a few moments. Until then, it's tossed back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. During a marathon session that crossed well into this Sunday morning, the Senate debated amendments to Democrats' election year economic bill that tackles some of President Biden's key priorities on climate, healthcare, energy, and taxes. CBS News correspondent Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
In a rare weekend session, senators debated the Democrats' sprawling climate and health care bill into the early morning Sunday. Democrats say the Inflation Reduction Act would lower energy and health care costs and touted as the largest single investment in climate in American history.
The American people are going to learn an unmistakable truth about this proposal. It was written first and foremost with the American people in mind. It reduces inflation, it lowers their costs, and it fights climate change.
The measure would provide new incentives to invest in clean energy and separately aims to negotiate down the cost of prescription drugs. During the overnight debate dubbed Votorama, Republicans slammed the bill as not beneficial to most Americans.
There is very little, if anything at all, that is pro-we the people in this bill.
This bill has nothing to do with what real people in the real world are worried about every single day.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders called for an amendment he said would strengthen a proposal to let Medicare negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies.
My amendment is simple. It says that Medicare should not pay any more than the VA for prescription drugs. If we do that, we will cut the cost of Medicare prescription drugs in half and save $900 billion.
Democrats argue the bill would also reduce the federal deficit, raising revenue through increased tax provisions such as an increased enforcement and a 15% minimum tax on large companies. Serena Marshall, CBS News, Washington.
If the Senate passes the bill, the House, where Democrats have a slender majority, could give the legislation final approval next Friday. And as Americans navigate that high inflation, they're piling up debt at a greater rate than economists were even predicting. $40.1 billion of debt was reported in June, a spike from May's revised number of $23.8 billion. The Federal Reserve says borrowing grew by more than 10% compared to 6.3% in May. Revolving debt, most notably marked by credit card balances, jumped by 16% in June. Non-revolving debt, such as car and student loans, is up by nearly 9%. Across the board, non-housing related debt saw its largest increase in 6 years, $103 billion in the second quarter. In local news this morning, there's an active silver alert for a missing man from Greene County. This is John Robert Svedson. He's 70 years old and was last on West Point Road east of Argyle. John left his truck in the roadway on West Point Road and left on foot. He is a known diabetic and believed to have had low blood sugar at the time. His family believes he's on foot in the wooded area nearby, but is yet to be located. Besides the impressive strength and endurance displayed by CrossFit athletes this week, the extreme heat took center stage when it came to spectators leaving the Noble CrossFit Games in awe. With yesterday's weather, participants had to handle some hot temperatures with their workouts. This is on top of the high-intensity competition that comes from the games. Those who came just to watch the games weren't just amazed at the athletes' skills, but that they were even able to perform under these conditions.
And then just to come back and do this day after day after day. Most of us come and do like one workout a day and we're dead the next day. We just complain about it. And these athletes are doing 3, 4 workouts for 5 or 6 days in a row, and it's just insane.
And today is the final day of the CrossFit Games in Madison. We will have more coverage coming up, and you can watch that here on News 3 Now. To Western Wisconsin now, the attorney who helped get Kyle Rittenhouse acquitted on murder charges says he will represent a Minnesota man accused in the stabbing death of a teenager during a tubing trip. 52-year-old Nikolai Mew is charged with first-degree homicide in the death of 17-year-old Isaac Schumann. Mew is also charged with harming 4 other people ranging in age from 20 to 24, Court documents state Mew attacked the group on Apple River after people accused him of approaching children in the water. He reportedly says he was defending himself from the group. And as you recall, Wisconsin attorney Corey Chirafsi helped convince a jury that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense when he fatally shot 2 men and wounded a third during protests in Kenosha after the shooting of Jacob Blake. Tarafsi declined to comment on this case. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for Friday. Indiana is now the first state after the overturn of Roe to pass a law banning most abortions. The bill was signed into law by the governor minutes after the vote. The law, which goes into effect on September 15th, provides exceptions for when the life of the mother is at risk and for fatal fetal anomalies up to 20 weeks post-fertilization. It also allows exceptions for some abortions if the pregnancy was the result of rape or incest. One OBGYN worries that even with exceptions, doctors fear they could be prosecuted for providing an emergency procedure to pregnant women.
You know how to save their lives. And yet you're wondering, well, who do I have to check with? Who's going to second guess me? Do I call my lawyer? Do I call the county prosecutor? You know, is this going to go to the state attorney general, which we know can be incredibly dangerous for physicians, as I've experienced.
The vote came days after voters in Kansas overwhelmingly rejected an effort to remove abortion protections from their state constitution. Across the U.S. now, a New Jersey man who was part of a scheme to defraud Gofundme donors has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. 43-year-old Mark D'Amico, along with his girlfriend, took more than $400,000 from a fake cause they created back in 2017. The scheme involved a homeless man named Johnny Bobbitt Jr., who was said to have given his last $20 to help McClure with gas. Instead of charity, the money raised by the couple was spent on a new BMW, gambling trips, and Louis Vuitton handbags. $75,000 went to Bobbitt, who later took civil action against D'Amico and McClure, exposing the scheme. In April, D'Amico was sentenced to 27 months in federal prison. His state and federal sentences are running concurrently. In Texas, the principal of Robb Elementary, the site of the Uvalde school massacre, has accepted a new position. Mandy Gutierrez will be taking a position as Assistant Director of Special Education at the Uvalde School District. The Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District informed parents of the news in an email late Friday. Christy Perez, the former assistant principal of Uvalde High School, will serve as the new principal. In response to the tragedy, the district has also announced 2 new positions, one called Director of Recovery, the other Director of Special Projects. That will oversee trauma care counselors as well as improvements in safety and security. Still to come this morning, a popular art festival returns to Janesville. What to expect coming up. And Julian.
Some numbers are thrilling, some impressive, some just right. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Habish and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. No other personal injury law firm is better suited to get the amount that's right for you.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5 grand more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation, and he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, get 6 packs of Pepsi products, only $1.48. Cheez-It crackers, only $1.69. Fish Market raw shrimp, only $3.88. And Dole iceberg lettuce, only 99 cents. Monday only. And save even more with Hy-Vee Fuel Saver. Right now, save up to $7.07 per gallon with your Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoo!
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow. I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Only 2 things are forever: love
And Liberty Mutual customizing your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And if anyone objects to this marriage, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Pre-rinsing your dishes? You could be using the wrong detergent and wasting up to 20 gallons of water. Skip the rinse with Finish Quantum. Its active lift technology provides an unbeatable clean on 24-hour dried-on stains. Skip the rinse with Finish to save our water.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save up to 20% when you book over 7,100 locations at choicehotels.com.
Maybelline New York's Instant Eraser. Our do-it-all concealer. Conceal, contour, correct. Now with up to 12-hour moisturizing wear. Instant Eraser Concealer. Maybelline New York.
And taking a look at what we're seeing on our radar as of right now, we're still looking at some bands of showers that are continuing to stretch throughout much of southern Wisconsin, even though just to the west of Dane County, we're looking at around Sauk County and areas around there. We're looking at some dry spots as of right now, but we can still see showers just pretty much lingering throughout much of southwestern Wisconsin, and they're going to continue at an easterly track. So overall, this is what we've been seeing over the last hour or so. Heavier rainfall just outside of Mount Horeb and Fitchburg and towards Cross Plains is going to continue to push itself into an southeasterly track, so Madison itself could start to see some heavier rainfall as we continue throughout the rest of our morning hours. Taking a closer look at what we're seeing here in Dane County in itself. Just outside of Waunakee and Sun Prairie, just looking at some lighter rainfall for us, but the heavy rain again is southwest of Madison. So areas for Fitchburg, just outside of Mount Horeb is where we're looking at. Even now Belleville is going to be looking at some heavier rainfall over the next hour or so. Now taking a look at the next 3 hours, what we're going to be seeing throughout southern Wisconsin is that rain is going to continue to push itself east, and our friends just outside of Watertown, Janesville, will start to see a bit more rain on the way as well. We'll take a look at what else to expect in just a few moments and where that rain is heading in a few moments as well. Until then, let's go ahead and toss it back to you, Shane.
All right, Julian, thanks for keeping us updated. Whether it's on hot dogs, brats, or apparently in ice cream, mustard was the king of condiments in Middleton yesterday. National Mustard Day is a condiment custom dating back to the 90s in Wisconsin, hosted by, of course, none other than the National Mustard Museum. Aside from live music, games, a raffle, and your normal mustard samplings, organizers say mustard ice cream was, believe it or not, the top hit. The creation by Chocolate Shop was sold out, and they say that mustard kicks ketchup to the curb.
It's important that we recognize the importance of mustard. So, you know, for example, our t-shirt this year, you can see mustard is the GOAT, the greatest of all time in the world of condiments, for sure.
What a great t-shirt. Mustard flavor royalty was also available to sample. Tiger Tail Curry Mustard came out on top, ranking as grand champion at this year's World Mustard Competition. The Tallman Arts Festival in Janesville has returned once again, but for the first time in 64 years, artists and their admirers got 2 days to enjoy all that vendors have to offer. For more than 6 decades, the Rock County Historical Society has been bringing artists together from all across the country for this annual event. Yesterday, around 70 artists showcased their work in more than 10 unique categories of art, meaning there was something for everyone who attended.
So we have everything from fiber to fine paintings to sculpture, concrete works for out in the garden. Yep, a lot of garden art and photography as well. So it's a really good mix of things.
And organizers say traffic went down a bit as the day went on and the temperatures rose, but weather permitting, the exhibits will open again today at 10 a.m. Hopefully that happens for them. The hot temperatures may have pushed festival attendees all the way to the beach, and they were in luck yesterday as all of the beaches monitored by Public Health Madison and Dane County were open for swimmers. PHMDC monitors beaches around the county for E. coli bacteria, blue-green algae, and other toxins in order to protect swimmers. And as of last night, all 22 beaches, as well as the Hudson Park Lake Access Point, were good to go. Still, just to be safe, swimmers should always check for signs of blue-green, green, reddish, purple, or brown algae before jumping in. Still ahead, more tips on how to stay cool as we feel the dog days of summer. And we've got active flash flood warnings this morning. Julian is keeping an eye on that when we get back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Okay, and he got so upset. Oh my God. Look. No way. She has definitely got some work done.
Doesn't even look the same anymore.
Talk about an extreme makeover. I wonder how much money she spent on those upgrades.
Hey! The house looks great, right? 3 years, no interest on roofing and siding from Feldco.
Right now, get 3 years, no interest on Feldco Roofing and Siding.
3 years, no interest on Feldco Roofing and Siding, and soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love, and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead cost.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong. You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control. Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we're going to dive right into things, folks. We have an alert day in the forecast for today and going into our overnight hours as we're going to be expecting training showers throughout much of the late morning hours and going into tonight as well. Heavy rainfall and thunderstorms could lead to some localized flooding for some areas, but all of southern Wisconsin is going to be looking at quite significant rainfall totals throughout the course of this event. Now, as we take a look outside, we are seeing a bit of some fog, but on top of it, the rain is just continuing for us here in southern Wisconsin. And as we take a look at our current radar as of right now, what we're seeing, the rain really into Dane County and just to the areas towards the west, but we're going to see that flow throughout much of southern Wisconsin over the next hour and continue into the mid-morning hours as well. As we go in throughout, taking a closer look into Dane County, we can see where the heavier rainfall is. As of right now, we're looking at some consistent moderate rain, but just east of Cross Plains and just south of Fitchburg, we're looking at some heavier rainfall that's starting to inch its way closer towards Belleville as we get into our mid-morning. Taking a wider look at what we're seeing as of right now, the next 3 hours, we are tracking these showers to continue to push themselves into the eastern side of southern Wisconsin. So our friends over towards Waukesha and Milwaukee and even Watertown and Janesville will start to get a bit more rain throughout the next hour or so as we get into the later parts of this morning. Flood watches are in effect for pretty much all of southern Wisconsin and central Wisconsin until we get into about our Monday afternoon. So we're going to be expecting plenty of rain throughout the rest of this morning and overnights tonight as well to start to push in throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So that's one thing to be mindful of, folks, is that flood potential is still a concern for us over the next 24 hours. As we take a look at the last 12 hours since rain has started for us late our Saturday evening, this is what we've been seeing for us. Around Madison, a little bit over an inch, close to about 2 inches of rainfall for some areas, but these are estimated rain totals as well, not necessarily confirmed. Outside of Platteville, we could see close to around 2.5 inches of rain, and just near the Richland Center, could see about 1.5 inches of rainfall over the last 12 hours. Taking a time out of what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of our afternoon, we are looking for a break into our early afternoon rainfall. Currently, we could start to see a bit more of that open sky. Going to not see a whole lot of rainfall for us, so this would be the best time to go run your errands throughout much of our Sunday. But we are looking for another round of some storms and showers starting to develop by the time we get into our Sunday night, overnight, and into our Monday morning as well. We're going to be looking at lines of showers and storms starting to sweep their way through southern Wisconsin once again throughout our Monday morning. Still looking at significant rainfall totals. Could see close to 1 inch to 2 inches in some areas with the heavier rainfall totals where the rain may just stall out. Could see around 3 inches of rain. Again, flood potential is there throughout many localized areas here in southern Wisconsin. So over the next few days, here's what we're looking at for our 10-day forecast. We have an alert day for today. Rain's going to be sticking around throughout our Monday morning, clearing out Monday afternoon. And then for the next few days, we are looking for some drier conditions, and it's going to be a relief and a refresher as lower 80s stick around and plenty of sunshine, Shane.
All right, Julian, thank you very much. Now, beating the heat is not only essential for your own comfort, but also for your health. We heard earlier from Dr. Shaw, but now Consumer Reports has some important tips to help you keep cool and safe all summer long.
We're in the midst of the dog days of summer, and with heat waves becoming more frequent and intense over the years, it's important to protect yourself.
Heat-related illness, especially heat stroke, can be really dangerous, so everyone should take proper precautions when it's hot out.
Recognizing the early signs of a heat stroke in yourself or someone else can be life-saving.
Heat stroke can be fatal, so it's really important to know its early signs, which include confusion, dizziness, weakness, agitation, slurred speech, and nausea and vomiting. And it can also cause you to pass out.
If you suspect a heat stroke in yourself or someone else, call 911 and quickly get yourself or them into an air-conditioned room or cool shower or bath. To help prevent yourself from ever getting into a dangerous situation like that, here are some tips. Before you head outside, think about what you're wearing. Choose loose-fitting, light-colored clothes, which can help keep you cooler. And don't forget a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses. Once dressed, put sunscreen on all exposed skin.
Not only do sunburns hurt, they can also raise your risk of skin cancer and of heat-related illness.
A top-tested sunscreen that's also a CR Best Buy, Equate Ultra Lotion SPF 50, sold at Walmart. It's also important to stay hydrated. Try filling up a pitcher or a large water bottle with ice and water and aim to finish it by the end of the day. CR tried out the Hydro Flask Wide Mouth with straw lid and found it to be a good everyday bottle. Easy to use and drink from while keeping the water cold. And to cool off all over, drink that water inside an air-conditioned room, especially during the hottest parts of the day, between 10 and 4. This is David Fazikis.
And when it comes to sunscreen, Consumer Reports also recommends applying it 15 to 30 minutes before you go outside and reapply every 2 hours or after you swim or sweat. And hey, make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. And when we get back, it's been 10 years for one of NASA's most successful missions. We're back after this.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's warehouse clearance sale with savings up to 40% off, plus instant cashback and free financing. Two-piece living room sets from $7.99, sectionals $9.99, queen mattress just $2.99. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Get moving with the Planet Fitness Black Card and check out all the perks. Like access to over 2,000 locations? You got it. Bring a guest anytime. That's right. And relax and unwind with massage chairs and more. Plus, get tons of variety and space to move in our super clean clubs. Your fitness is essential. Join Planet Fitness today and get all the perks of the PF Black Card.
Join Planet Fitness today in club or online for just $0 down, then only $24.99 a month. Hurry, this offer ends August 10th.
We know a thing or two about beef. Hy-Vee knows beef too. Only 6 out of 100 cattle are even good enough to bear the Hy-Vee brand. Only 6 out of 100. Quality like that is hard to find. So enjoy your Hy-Vee steak this weekend. You've earned it.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Back to school means big savings at A1 Furniture. Mattresses for $149, sofas $399, flip-flops $299, dressers $149. Up to 40% off store-wide plus instant cash back. The Back to School Savings Event, only at A1 Furniture.
News 3 now, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County are collecting school supplies for area students.
Please help us by donating at News 3 Now, Dane County Boys and Girls Clubs, or participating Walgreens. Visit channel3000.com for details, then donate.
Imagine a world without breast cancer. What if you were the one more we needed to raise one more dollar, take one more step, share one more story? The power of one starts with you. Join us for the More Than Pink Walk, August 28th.
Yesterday marked a decade of discovery for NASA's Mars rover Curiosity. After so many discoveries, as CBS Michelle Miller reports, the 6-wheeled robot still has drive.
Touchdown confirmed. We're safe on Mars.
That was the scene 10 years ago today at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California when the Curiosity rover landed on the surface of Mars. A 2,000-pound car-sized lab on wheels. It sent back incredible images and began a scientific exploration of the red planet.
We're still making big discoveries.
John Grant is a senior geologist at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum and a member of Curiosity's science team.
Curiosity, as a rover, went to Mars with its lab equipment, with its cameras, with its instruments, and really started probing into whether there were habitable environments in the past on Mars. And lo and behold, we discovered fairly early on in the mission that, in fact, there were.
Liftoff of the Atlas V with Curiosity.
Curiosity was launched into space from Cape Canaveral on November 26, 2011. 8 months, 10 days, and 100 million miles later, it finally arrived. And 3 weeks later, Curiosity was sending back stunning images from the planet's surface. But it was also on the move. Its 7-foot robotic arm is designed to scoop up soil samples and drill into rocks, looking for the chemical building blocks of life.
Curiosity landing in Gale Crater has found this evidence of a past lake. That's a really big deal. And we know that the chemistry of that lake was such that if life had been there, it probably could have survived. That's another huge deal.
The original mission was only slated to last 2 years, but it's been extended multiple times. And now Curiosity has company. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars. Just last year, NASA landed the next-generation rover, Perseverance, complete with its tiny flying drone. Ultimately, NASA hopes humans won't get just a remote view of the red planet, but will see it for themselves.
Let's cut to the chase. How soon before we will see astronauts heading, landing on Mars?
Gosh, I hope it's in something like 10 years, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if it's quite a bit more time than that. It's an expensive proposition.
And a dangerous one.
And a dangerous one.
Michelle Miller, CBS News, New York.
And after 10 years, the success of the mission is still surprising scientists. Julian, I ask you, you get a chance to go to Mars. You going?
I don't know. I think I have a lot of problems I need to deal with here on Earth first.
Deal with those here. No need to take them up to Mars.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, hey, Earth has some pretty cool things going on. I think we can last for a little while.
I think, what's the point?
Space is cool. I mean, exploration is really cool too. Going to Mars is not something I would totally turn down, but let me deal with some things first.
Good. All right, before we go, we have an active day of weather. What's it looking like for people today?
That's right, and just for you, Shane, we got to use this pun. It's raining cats and dogs this morning, so be careful not to step on a poodle as you head out the door, as we're going to be looking at plenty of rain to continue throughout the morning.
That for
yes, I really have. I've been dying for that for no reason. But either way, we're going to be looking at rain to stick around throughout much of our morning hours. And folks, we do have a flood watch that's in effect until Monday afternoon, 1 p.m. That's going to be encompassing much of central and southern Wisconsin throughout that time frame. So make sure that you are being weather aware of that. And outside of it, we looked at significant rainfall totals and will continue to see rainfall totals throughout the next few days. Now, taking a look at our 10-day forecast, Shane, good news is we're drying out into the middle part of the week.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us. Have a good Sunday.